What's up guys, Damian Keys here, welcome back to the channel. So, things are starting to settle down to more routine, especially in the UK. We are getting used to this new temporary normal and what's expected of us. We're rebuilding routines and starting to reflect on what happens next. But there's a lot of bravado online. So many people in the comments and DMs telling me how they're smashing it right now and hustle, hustle, hustle. Which is great, and I'm not taking anything away from you if you feel like that. You do you. The amount of times I see the words, "this is a great time," yada, 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 yada. But the problem is unless you're selling yoga mats, on the whole, it isn't a great time. This is going to go down in history as a bit of a shitter. But for everyone else, I wanted to say that it's okay to feel anxious. It's okay to have some lost momentum and not be as motivated or as productive as you were a month ago. A lot of the anxiety that many of us are feeling, myself included, is as a result of constantly assessing the risk level but not having anything to judge it against, because we can't use past experiences as there hasn't been anything like this ever. We can research and discuss it, but no one has primary evidence, meaning it's all opinion. We have had past viruses, but not in this style time. And for most of us, what we're feeling isn't fear because we aren't scared. Fear means being scared of something specific, whereas anxiety means worrying about something uncertain. The fear means you're scared of the dinosaur about to eat you, but you're anxious when you don't know where that dinosaur is. It's also anxiety brought on by the unknown of what that dinosaur is or looks like. We aren't in control of the possible upcoming situation. And worse than that, we can't plan for that threat because we don't know how big it is or what it looks like or what it's going to do. So this makes preparation difficult. This anxiety can affect people in so many different ways. For example, you might be on high alert and restless throughout the day, and therefore your whole body and brain feels tired and overworking itself. You might find you have that constant feeling in your stomach like you're about to get told off by your mum. Our routines have changed. Pretty much whoever you are on the planet, a lot of our freedom has been taken away. We want to stick to safe rules and guidelines, so we stay in self-isolation. But for many of us, this means a lot more freedom to create, which is a problem in itself. Trying to be inspired and motivated when the world is paused. I personally take motivation from you guys, from what you guys are doing. But when you can't do, it's less motivating for me to create. I also feel like I want to be respectful of the situation we're all in, and therefore posting certain things don't feel quite right. So studies show in times of uncertainty like we are in, it helps to add in routine and achievements, even though we don't technically need to. I'm hoping you guys have a daily to-do list, but in this instant where time feels frozen, that to-do list might look completely different to normal, which is okay. Things like get up, make your bed, have a shower, eat breakfast, do exercise. By simplifying your to-do list, it still gives you that routine and that sense of achievement and, I guess, purpose. I think purpose is a big word right now. What are we working towards in this environment? You are starting to slowly remove uncertainty by adding in some of your own certainty. Even though these things wouldn't have counted on a to-do list, now they're really important to keep you going and keep that momentum going. Tim Ferriss calls this finding freedom in constraints, which means highly successful creatives have set recipes so they don't have to make decisions about extraneous things in their life. It's the habits and routines that stop you going off the rails. You would think that nothing to do means all of the time to be creative, but for most creatives, it's the discipline that enables creative freedom. So if you can tighten up your routine, it will help you create as well as be less anxious. Also, why not reward yourself for doing jobs? Right now, there's no boss, there's no accountability, you've got complete freedom. So why not reverse things and allow yourself a treat? Like cross something off your to-do list and then I don't know, watch one of my videos and like and subscribe for the algorithm. Or maybe take it a step further and to cross off something off your to-do list, and then after that reward yourself, and then after that do 10 push-ups so you feel like you've done everything in your power to basically stay motivated, as well as exercising and keeping yourself doing things. Everyone deals with uncertainty in a different way, but studies show that everyone also has a different tolerance level for uncertainty, which makes sense because you have a tolerance level for pretty much everything, from alcohol to the cold to pain to people who annoy you. But this does mean, like any other tolerance, it can be built up. Like a muscle, it can be strengthened. This uncertainty might be going on for months down the line because we don't know what's about to happen. So what can we do to start building up the tolerance of uncertainty so it doesn't affect us as heavily? So I went and did some research this week, and this is what I found. Make a to-do list of all the small things that make you feel uncomfortable. For example, number one, what about text some friends and then turn your phone off for an hour and leave them unanswered? That feeling of anxiety when you know that they're probably answering you, waiting for you. Or number two, what about going on Instagram Live but don't prepare anything? Just start it up and say hi and see what happens, because we know what will happen and the anxiety will come from the what if moment. What about put out a piece of music which is unfinished or in the realms of your computer and do no promotion whatsoever? Or make a video of you playing something live and post it and don't make a big deal of it. Go searching for a few small what if moments and see that even when it goes wrong, it's not that bad. Experience some uncertainty knowing that it won't be that bad. Sometimes it might even be funny and we can laugh at ourselves. Something else that might help lower the anxiety rate at this time is to reduce the amount of time watching the news. Personally, I found myself checking the news in the mornings, a few times in the day, and then at night. But it becomes like a horror film where you're waiting for something to jump out of you. You know that it's coming, and all that happens is when it does jump out of you, it just makes it completely worse. Maybe just keep it to once a day, 15, 20 minutes to understand what the big stories of the day are, and then after that move on. Lastly, I think it's really important to remember that people need reassurance right now, and everyone reacts and feels uncertainty in a different way. So for everyone out there who is commenting saying this is the best time and hustle, 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 great. But maybe it's time to help some of the people who are anxious or do feel pressure differently. As musicians, you want to build up your tribe. So have a think about your tribe who are struggling now and could do with a little bit of reassurance or an arm across the shoulder or just asking if they're okay. Maybe a little bit of distraction. Spare a thought for the people who aren't commenting on the videos instead of the ones who are. So guys, every time I ask the question, how you doing? A lot of people come through and it's hustle, 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 and it's amazing. But that's amazing and I'm really happy for you. But if anyone's struggling, leave a comment down below. Let's talk about this. Let's think about ways that you can make this a little bit easier over the next coming weeks and coming months. So guys, when I normally ask, how are you doing? Leave a comment down below. I'm getting loads and loads of positivity, which is great, and I don't want to take anything away from that. But what I'm actually after is anyone struggling? What can I or the community do to get behind some of you guys that aren't doing so well or are feeling anxious, are a little bit worried about what's happening right now? So if you want to leave a comment, if you want to get in touch, then I will be on the lookout for those. But otherwise, do me a favor, like, subscribe, the usual stuff. But more importantly, look after yourselves, stay inside. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.